9. Tia Weathers. After finding out that her boyfriend was at another woman's house, Tia Weathers tried to confront him at the scene. He refused to come outside, but the 32-year-old makeup artist had another plan up her sleeve. She got into the front seat of her philandering partner's car and used it as her personal toilet. After going number 2, she texted the man and told him to sit in it. He blocked her shortly thereafter, marking the end of what proved to be a messy breakup in more than one way. In a TikTok video she posted in early 2022, Tia explained that the incident happened a decade earlier. She said that her ex was furious after discovering the smelly surprise, but that they had both gotten over the ordeal. They even became friends again and were able to look back and laugh. Tia's video generated mixed responses. Some praised her chosen form of payback as genius, and a few even said they would have taken it a step further by rubbing it in, while others saw the act of revenge as childish or were too grossed out to think it was funny. One commentator expressed dismay and disapproval, accusing social media influencers of proudly admitting to toxic behavior and acting like it's normal. Regardless of whether or not someone agrees with what Tia did, there's no doubt that it had its intended effect of upsetting her ex. 8. Glitter Barrage. When 24-year-old Nicole Walker began to suspect her girlfriend of cheating in October 2022, she decided to confront her. She would later say that she just had a gut feeling that her partner Vera was hiding something. During the conversation, Walker tricked Vera into admitting she had been unfaithful. The couple broke up, but it didn't end there. Wanting to get revenge on her disloyal ex, Walker met with a friend for dinner and to brainstorm ideas on the best way to achieve retribution. She ultimately decided to dump glitter all over Vera's apartment and filmed herself doing it for TikTok. In the video, she could be seen pouring the notoriously difficult to clean material all over the carpets, in the bed, in drawers, and everywhere else she could think of. Walker said she even put sparkles in the fridge and freezer. She also recalled how Vera burst into tears when she sent her the video. But Walker didn't feel bad, and even said that she felt her ex deserved the glitter barrage. Surprisingly, the pair ended up getting back together. But even then, Walker still said that she thought Vera deserved it, and that she'd do it again in the future if she felt the need was there. 7. Augustine Gladney. In 2020, a man named Ernest Smith called the Fort Worth police and told them that an urn containing his mother's remains had gone missing from his home. At the time, he and his girlfriend Augustine Gladney were going through a rough patch. 2 years later, Smith contacted law enforcement again and named Gladney as a prime suspect in the disappearance of his mother's ashes. He told officers that he'd overheard Gladney telling her daughter that she threw the remains in a lake. Shortly after, she allegedly sent Smith a text confessing to the act, which he showed to the police. Gladney's revenge backfired big time by landing her in trouble with the law. She was charged with the abuse of a corpse and faces up to a year in prison and a fine of up to $4,000 if convicted. Around the same time her arrest went viral, TikTok footage surfaced of a woman dumping what appears to be a vase full of ashes into a river. The video was accompanied by a caption stating that her boyfriend cheated on her, so she was throwing his mom's ashes in the river. A lot of people mistakenly believed that the woman in the clip was Gladney, but the post was actually created by a comedian who goes by the handle @StarringSarah. After realizing that people were taking the clip seriously, she posted another video clarifying that it was just a comedy skit and that she didn't really dump anyone's ashes into a river. 6. Janelle Elise Flom. A TikTok video that went viral in 2020 shows a woman hanging her long blonde hair behind her airplane seat, blocking the passenger behind her from using the activity screen on the back of the seat. Not to mention, nobody wants to spend an entire flight with a stranger's hair in their face. In the footage, the passenger behind the woman could be seen repeatedly moving her hair out of the way, but the woman continued to move her hair back over the seat. Eventually, the passenger behind the woman lost her patience and began rubbing chewing gum into the blonde mane that kept getting in her way. She also took a pair of nail clippers and snipped off several locks before sticking a saliva-covered lollipop in the woman's hair. For good measure, the irritated passenger then dipped the hair in her coffee. The woman appeared not to notice the entire time. Reactions to the video were mixed, with many commentators speculating that the incident was staged and that the offending hair was a wig. Some disapproved of the frustrated passenger's handling of the situation. But anyone who's experienced disruptive behavior during a flight knows how torturous it can be, and it seemed like most commentators sympathized with the passenger. 5. Jameel Margarita Galvez. After discovering that her boyfriend was cheating on her in early 2022, a Filipina mother of 3 named Jameel Margarita Galvez wanted his belongings out of her life as soon as possible, and she also wanted to get back at him for his infidelity. She decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and auctioned off his luxury belongings on Facebook Live. At the beginning of her first broadcast, Jameel jokingly warned potential buyers that the items she was about to sell were cursed and would turn their partners into a cheater and a problem gambler. She sold some Lacoste shirts, Yeezy sneakers, several hats, and a pair of limited edition sneakers that his mistress supposedly bought for him. The live stream went viral almost immediately, garnering tens of thousands of likes, shares, and reactions. A few days later, Jameel went live again and sold some more of her unfaithful ex-boyfriend's belongings. Most commentators were supportive of the young woman's decision to start her journey toward healing by purging any reminder of her ex from her life. She received a lot of encouraging and comforting words from sympathetic viewers who understood how awful it is to get cheated on. Jameel reportedly raked in around 300,000 pesos, $5,400 within her first few broadcasts, and she said that she had no plans to stop there. Some speculated that the story about the cheating boyfriend was a publicity stunt to draw customers to her recently launched business selling handbags, but people nevertheless wished her well. 4. Sarah Lupica. A TikToker named Sarah Lupica had millions of viewers in stitches when she posted footage of a hilarious prank call to her toxic ex one day in 2022. Using Google to speak so it sounded like an automated message, she greeted her ex Connor and told him that she was calling about his order of hemorrhoid cream. The robotic voice instructed him to say confirm to confirm the order and to say cancel to cancel it. He said cancel, but the robot said, "I heard you say confirm. Is that correct?" Connor frantically said cancel again. The robot replied by thanking him for his order of hemorrhoid cream and gave him the option of hitting 1 to speak to a representative. He hit 1. Sarah played the sound of a phone ringing to make him think he was about to be connected. Then the robot instructed him to enjoy the specially selected hold music, at which point Big Sean's "I Don't Fuck With You" began to blare into the phone. Connor said "what?" with a confused tone, and the clip ended. The video quickly garnered millions of views. Not everyone was impressed by Sarah's prank, but many found it funny and harmless, and some were impressed with her creativity. She's known for posting prank calls on TikTok, so it's probably safe to assume that the call to her ex wasn't sparked by outrage, like a conventional case of a scorned ex seeking revenge. Soon after the hemorrhoid call, Sarah posted a follow-up clip featuring a similar prank call to someone who is listed in her contacts as Toxic Ex number 2. Like the first Toxic Ex prank, it received an outpouring of amused reactions. 3. Fantasy failure. At the beginning of the NFL football season in 2022, Sports Illustrated reported on a young woman who realized that her laptop was still logged on to her ex-boyfriend's fantasy football account. The former couple had recently broken up, and the woman was still upset about the way her ex treated her. So, she decided to get payback by dropping the players he drafted and replacing them with retired players, including former Arizona Cardinals wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald and former New England Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski. She chose Colin Kaepernick, who hasn't played in an NFL game since 2016, as her ex's new starting quarterback. By the time she was finished, the only one active player on her former boyfriend's list was Ravens running back Kenyon Drake, who wasn't expected to rake in many points on ESPN's fantasy app. The woman's ex-boyfriend noticed what she was doing and scrambled to do damage control by swapping out the player she'd chosen, but he forgot to change his password. In the meantime, the scorned ex-girlfriend's best gal pal documented the ordeal on Twitter. Some commentators thought the revenge was genius, while others expressed their disapproval, pointing out how her sneaky last-minute draft swaps could hurt the entire fantasy league. But by then, the damage was done, and it wasn't like she could go back in time and undo it. So regardless of whether it was right or wrong, she got the last laugh. 2. Ashley McKay. Ashley McKay was appalled when he watched his home security footage and noticed that one of his neighbors who lives on a nearby street was allowing her dog to do its business in his yard and not clean up afterwards. One day, he removed the unwanted gift from his front lawn in Adelaide, Australia, and put it in an envelope. On the outside, he wrote, "To the owner of the little white dog, this belongs to you," and he placed the dog poop in the neighbor's mailbox. Ashley posted photos on social media, along with a caption explaining that this is what you get when you use your neighbor's yard as a place for your dog to go number 2. He also shared surveillance footage of the offending act, which shows the neighbor waiting while her dog goes to the bathroom on Ashley's lawn, then walking away without putting any apparent thought into cleaning up the mess. Speaking with the Adelaide Advisor, Ashley said that he takes pride in his home's appearance, but he was mostly put off by the neighbor's lack of respect. Most of the social media users who commented on his post seemed to agree that he handled the situation appropriately. Days after the post went viral, Ashley told the Daily Mail Australia that the neighbor hadn't been back to his property and he didn't think she would be returning after being put on blast. 1. Returned rubbish. In late 2022, an American TikToker and garbage disposal company owner, going by the handle @GregMFinney, received a request for a dumpster from a man he'd done business with a few times in the past. Finney dropped the dumpster off at the customer's home, and he soon requested for the full receptacle to be picked up and swapped out with another empty dumpster. His credit card was denied, but since Finney had done business with the man before and was on a tight schedule, he picked up the full dumpster and dropped the empty one off. The customer promised to provide him with a different credit card later that day, but Finney's repeated calls to get the information went unanswered. When Finney went to pick up the dumpster the following day, he couldn't get to it because it was blocked in, and nobody answered the door at the residence. He called the customer from a different number, and the man hung up on him. After several more attempts to get in touch over the phone and through a letter, Finney stopped by at the man's house again. This time, he was there. Finney told the customer that if he didn't pay the bill, he would empty the dumpster and leave. And that's exactly what he did when the man went inside and shut the door. Footage that quickly went viral showed the garbage being poured into the customer's driveway along with the caption, "Don't be a deadbeat." In the follow-up video, Finney addressed comments asking why he didn't just haul the garbage away and sue the customer for the costs. He explained the tedious and time-consuming process of pursuing a case in small claims court, and pointed out that even when a judge rules in the plaintiff's favor, they often never see the money. It also costs the plaintiff money to file the case, and they're just as unlikely to be compensated for court fees as they were for the damages. Chasing down payment is often more of a headache than it's worth, and not paying on a judgment comes with little consequence to the person who was sued. Unwilling to put himself in that position or to provide free service to an unpaying customer, Finney did what made the most sense and left the garbage behind. While some commenters thought his reaction to the unpaid bill was overly harsh, Finney received widespread praise from people who thought he did the right thing, including many who mentioned their own experiences with getting stiffed by customers and understanding the frustration firsthand. Thanks for watching. Would you rather get arrested for taking revenge on someone but receive widespread public support from people who felt you did the right thing? Or take out revenge on someone without breaking any laws but receive widespread criticism for taking it too far? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. See you soon. Bye.